Okay, I wanted to make a video on foods that we feed our Shih Tzus. We have 5 Shih Tzus. We have Lucy, Ollie, Wolfie, Yogi, and Charlie. And I have a ton of short videos on all of our dogs, but we do get a lot of comments on how beautiful they are and how good their coats look. And I feel like we've kind of hacked the Shih Tzu feeding game because Shih Tzus are notoriously hard to feed. They don't like to eat a lot, and they're very picky. There's a background to Shih Tzus. They come from Chinese royalty, so if you kind of look that up, it's pretty cool. But having said that, I'm gonna share with you the foods that we feed them. Now, we do give them table scraps of the more healthier things we're eating, and occasionally. And then I have a few little trick tips that I like to give if you're having a hard time getting your Shih Tzu to eat. I feel like it's important to get them to eat something in the morning, a little something, even if it's a treat, so that they don't go on an empty stomach. Shih Tzus tend to throw up if they haven't eaten any food, this like yellow slimy bile, and then they won't eat after that. So I feel like getting your Shih Tzus to eat earlier in the day sets them up for the whole day, and then they'll usually eat throughout the day, or they'll usually eat at least once or twice throughout the day. So here are the foods. I'm gonna share those with you right now that we feed our Shih Tzus that we've figured out that they like and that their poop is good with. Most of our Shih Tzus are rescues. Lucy came from sort of an adoption situation where we had clients that had a litter of Shih Tzus and they gave us Lucy. This is 13 years ago. And she's the oldest of the bunch. And then we proceeded to adopt Shih Tzus from rescues after that. And most of the Shih Tzus we adopted had skin issues and hair issues, patches of hair missing. They obviously weren't taken care of. And most of the Shih Tzus that we got had diarrhea when we got them. So that whatever they were being fed was not good. And usually food will quickly change that. So I'm gonna share with you the food. Now, they don't all eat the same foods. They're picky, so they sort of like what they like, and we've found what they like. But what we do avoid feeding them are any dog foods that have chicken in them. Now, if you look at a lot of the foods that are sold, if it's a beef flavor or a beef dog food, they say, oh, it's beef. And you look quickly on the ingredients. Sometimes chicken's the first ingredient, could be the second ingredient, third ingredient, pork is in there. We only feed our dogs the food that is the description on the label. So if it says beef, it has to have beef first and only. We don't feed them anything that has other meats in there. So we like the beef bison route because beef and the way beef is raised is much different than chicken. Chicken is heavily farmed, especially for animals, and it is, I would say, probably toxic, filled with hormones. The way that they raise those chickens are on top of each other, so they're covered in their own feces. And a lot of people say their Shih Tzus are allergic to chicken. They probably are. It's probably making them sick. So I avoid all chicken products for Shih Tzus. Now, that's not to say our dogs can't eat chicken or that we don't give them chicken once in a while if we're eating it. If we're eating chicken breast and we've prepared that human grade food, they do pretty well with that. So it's really dog grade food chicken meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the different foods we buy. Instinct is one of the ones that we really like. It's a frozen, sort of frozen in these little section. I don't know what you want to call these little nuggets here. And this is frozen. We let it de-thaw, but they'll usually eat it frozen. 1 or 2 of our dogs like this, so we usually put this out, but we don't put it out for very long. If they don't eat it, we'll put it back in the freezer. So you got to be patient with your dogs on this. Once they get used to it, I think most of the dogs would actually like this. This is fresh raw. It's the beef formula, and that's beef only. Now, they do mix vegetables and other beef organ meat in there, but it is without hormones, without antibiotics. We also do the Fresh Pet Vital. This comes in a log. This is a beef bison. It has, as it says here, spinach, cranberries, blueberries. So they're gonna get a wholesome, nutritious diet by eating this. And you'll notice immediately if you're feeding them something like this or like this, if they have any stomach issues, diarrhea, it'll immediately go away. So what we do with the log is we cut it up into these little squares, bite-sized squares. Basically just cut a slice off and then cut it up into little squares so they can eat it. We don't ever just put the food in a bowl and hope that they eat it. They're way too picky for that. So we'll put them in these little squares, and this is all cold. And so we only cut up enough that we think they're, for the amount that we think they're gonna eat. And if they don't eat it, we'll put it out. If they don't eat it, we'll put it back in the refrigerator while it's still cold so that it never goes bad. Same with this. This we'll leave out for a little while, and then if it dethaws, we'll put it right back in the freezer. This one here is Tucker's. Now you'll find a lot of these at specialty dog food stores or pet food stores, and one of the ones that we go to is called Mud Bay. And so they'll have a little bit more specialized foods that have healthier ingredients. So you have to kind of go away from the big box stores a lot of times. We do find this at a PetSmart or Petco. We do find that at a PetSmart or Petco, but we won't find that at a PetSmart or Petco. And so this comes in a patty, almost like a hamburger patty, and we let it dethaw, and then we put it into little balls like this so that they'll eat it. They will not eat that. So you have to do that to get them to eat that. We do dethaw one of those a day. We have 2 of the dogs or 3 of the dogs that really like this, and that's big enough to feed 3 dogs in one day. So those are the main foods that we feed our dogs, and that's it. With the exception of what we're eating, like if we're eating steak, we're eating eggs, we're eating chicken, we'll give them a little bit of that, and not a lot, just enough to taste it, but not enough to make them sick or to make them full, really. We don't generally do a lot of dry food, but we do leave some dry food out, so if they are hungry and they want to nibble, they can have some. Generally, dry food is not great for dogs because of the temperature they heat the dog food to, kind of bakes out a lot of the natural healthy ingredients, or vitamins, excuse me. But this formula here is really good. It's beef with vegetable recipe. Again, no chicken, no other, no fats from other animals, no pork, etc. Now, one of the things that Shih Tzus love is treats. They'll eat those way more than they'll eat food. So at Mud Bay, they have these are just like very light, flaky snacks. These are lamb lung, and they'll just snack on these. It's all natural, and they're just freeze dried, and we'll just give them a full piece like that, and it's almost like a cracker for them. These are something that we found. Now they have something similar now at a Petco or PetSmart, but for a long time they didn't. This is the only place we could find them. And these are, Golden Rewards is a Walmart brand. I don't love Walmart, but these are something that we found that were only the ingredient that they are. So you look on the back here and you go right to the ingredient list, and it's literally duck breast, and the glycerin and salt to make sure that they stay, but not enough to make your dog sick or anything. And it is literally just that, nothing else. There's no fillers or junk that you'd normally find in dog treats. And then the same with this one. It's simply sweet potato with duck wrapped around it, freeze dried or air dried. Now, we don't just give them this big piece like this. You can, but then you really risk them choking on that. So I like to cut them up into little squares like this. Same with this. And also by doing it that way, you're feeding them less. And the last one are these Instinct pumpkin freeze-dried or air-dried treats. And these are really great. They call them toppers. You can put them on top of the dry food if you wanted. We'll just give them to them whole like this. And you could give each dog 5 or 6 of them. And those really help their stomach if they're having upset stomach. And most dogs will actually eat those like a treat. So These have literally been a game changer as far as treats go. They're super healthy. They have limited to literally no ingredients other than what it is, and you're feeding your dog something that's really healthy. And so that's basically it. I mean, we keep away from chicken. We have generally the beef. We could do lamb. The beef bison is a good one. And we go into the duck treats and the duck jerky treats. And again, this brand from Walmart has been pretty good to us. Although since this brand got popular, I've noticed that there's similar brands at Petco and PetSmart that you may want to look into. But if you were to feed your Shih Tzu this diet, I can guarantee you that their stomach and their poops will be perfect, because all 5 of ours are. Their coats look really nice and shiny, and they've been super, super healthy in terms of, just regularity. So anyways, if you found the video helpful, please share the video with other Shih Tzu owners. I am on some Shih Tzu post pages where I get a lot of people that are commenting about their dog's diet, or that they have difficulty getting their dogs to eat. But it seems like most of the people on these pages have never had Shih Tzus, don't know the difficulty of feeding them, and a lot of times probably don't know what's healthy for them, because they do react different than other dogs. So again, if you liked the content, please share it. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to making more. Thank you so much. Bye.